Mississippi is down to its last abortion clinic after passing one of the strictest abortion bans in the country. But 20-year-old Asia Brown is fighting back by locking arms with women who want an abortion and escorting them to the clinic, all while facing verbal abuse from anti-abortion protesters. NBC News national reporter Bracy Harris spoke with the young activist. You know, Bracy, it's a big story, not only for what's happening there in Mississippi, but it's also a big story when it comes to what these implications could be for other women all across the country. Bracy, tell us about Asia Brown. I mean, what led her to do this?
Yeah, well, Asia is a Mississippi native, and she told me she spent a lot of time growing up with both her grandmother and her great-grandmother, who would share their family's history of what it was like growing up in the segregated South. Her great-grandmother even told her about one of the family's matriarchs that ran away from slavery. And from that, Brown really developed this sort of deep sense of the right, in her view, for people to have control over their own bodies, specifically Black women. So like a lot of college students, COVID brought her home back fall, and she became aware of this group of clinic defenders and decided that she wanted to get involved.
So you said something that I thought was interesting. You said, you know, the effect of Black women in particular. I know that's part of what motivates her, but how does this ban, how does closing so many of these clinics affect Black women when it comes to policy?
Right. So the concern right now with Mississippi's law that's before the Supreme Court that would ban the procedure after 15 weeks of pregnancy, if this in the state if upheld, when you speak with activists, they'll point out if you look at who's going to be disproportionately impacted, data from the state shows about 75% of women and people seeking abortion care in Mississippi are Black women. So if that law is upheld, it's going to become more cost prohibitive for women to seek abortion care past that 15-week point. A lot would have to travel out the state. And then, of course, the bigger picture is what would that mean in the overall sense of moving up the goalposts of when someone could obtain abortion care? So again, that could make it even more costly to travel out of state if you look at the southern region and how other restrictive bans have been passed by state legislatures.
And Bracy, one other thing that I thought was fascinating, you know, watching this young woman, she's so young, really bear the brunt of this verbal abuse that's got to be scary, you know, when you're walking and escorting other women into a clinic. Can you describe kind of what this last remaining abortion clinics in the state of Mississippi goes through on a daily, quotidian, regular basis?
Absolutely. I went out to the clinic several times over the course of 2 weeks, and it could vary by the hour. It could vary by the minute. Sometimes before 9 a.m. in the morning, there would be a protester outside with a bullhorn shouting towards the clinic's privacy fence, and the clinic tries to play music back to drown it out. If a patient isn't able to park in the parking lot, they're either getting dropped off or walking up the hill to the clinic. It's not uncommon for them to be approached at very close proximity. And again, it can vary depending on the demonstrator who's out there, how that confrontation, you know, takes place.
All right. Well, Bracy, thanks for bringing us this story. Bracy Harris for us on young Asia, who's escorting these women. Thank you so much, Bracy.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.